Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If we could take our seats, we'll begin our program for this afternoon. Our head coach's press conference for the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl. Very excited to have Ohio and Appalachian State with us in this year's game. This time I'd like to introduce you to the Executive Director of the Raycom Media Camellia Bowl, Johnny Williams, who will introduce all of our special guests today.
Thank you, Barry. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Coach Solich, Coach Satterfield. We're extremely honored to have you guys in town today to give us a little preview of what we can see next Saturday. But before we get started, I want to give everybody a little update about where we are with our game. Everybody says, how's it going? Well, it's going wide open right now. Let me share that with you. But that's fine. We like that. But we've got a tremendous support from fans. Looks like buying tickets. We're less than 3,000 tickets in our possession. We're just way exceeds where we were at this point last year, which is extremely positive. So, we have good weather next week. I think we'll have standing room only, and I may have to go back when I was in junior high. I used to scout tickets. I may have to do that again. You make a living doing that. No, but it is a pleasure to have all you here today. A few recognitions I'd like to make before we get started with our formal press conference. I'd like to thank Jerry Beasley. Jerry, would you stand? Jerry, our former lieutenant governor and one of the best-known lawyers in America. And if I ever need you, Jerry, I'm calling on you. So just know we thank him and his firm for being one of our partners today. DG Markwell, DG stand up from Max Credit Union. Thanks to Max, these guys are, when I first met with him, he said, we believe in sports advertising. I said, well, I got all the sports you can handle, I promise you. We're ready to roll. So did you thank for you and your company, your bank, what y'all done for us? And then also Blue Cross Blue Shield is one of our partners too this year. And what I'd like to do now is to introduce and make official welcome. Without this organization, which is well represented today, Raycom Media, there wouldn't be a Raycom Media Camellia Bowl. Wouldn't be a Camellia Bowl. We first visited with Paul almost 4 years ago about starting a project that had national significance for our community. With the All-Star game, Paul jumped on board. He had a vision, and he wanted to give back to this community, this river region. And with that, I'd like to introduce Paul McTier, Chairman of the Board of Raycom Media, to come up and extend an official welcome and on behalf of Raycom.
You're pretty tall, Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. I am not the chairman of the board, but if that opens up, I may consider the opportunity. I am the CEO of Raycom, and most of you who are local know that we are WSFA. Eric is here today for us, and we're about 60 television stations across the United States now. A couple of sports business, Raycom Sports, Webstream, and a couple of digital businesses, etc. We are a bunch of business units in various cities across 20 states. But, I guess until Johnny came to us with the idea, we had always done our community involvement here through WSFI. And we just thought, geez, we're holding all of our business units accountable for their community commitments and involvement. And here we are, a pretty significant workforce at the corporate office, and we really hadn't had much to do. So Johnny came to us with the idea, and it's kind of sort of grown from there. And it is with a distinct pleasure that we get an opportunity to help market not only the city of Montgomery, but the entire river region. And I think I said this last year, my first glimpse of Montgomery, Alabama, was sitting in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on a Christmas day watching television of a blue-gray football game. And that really was my keyhole into what Montgomery, Alabama is. And we've come a long, long way from them, and it's with a great sense of pride that we're able to sponsor this game, this very wonderful game. There's a high bar, coaches, for what you have to do from a performance standpoint based on last year's game. So if we can come close to that, it'd be great entertainment for the audience. So, again, we're pleased to be here and very grateful for the opportunity, Johnny. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Now I'd like to introduce our two political leaders who had the First time we had a meeting actually was about this building. Worked with an architect firm, and we started looking at helping them, the multiplex and the stadium, the way it was going to lay out. And Todd Strange challenged me, we need a national event, Johnny, go make it happen. He had the vision. Now, this community, along with the corporate partners here in town, along with the county commission, hopefully our game can grow to kind of be a beacon to expose the nations of the wonderful things going on in our community. I told the coaches today, our community is green and growing. It's not ripe and rotten. And that's what we want to be. I want to introduce Elton Dean, our chairman of our county commission, along with Mayor Todd Strange, to come up and give an official welcome for the community.
I'll let the father go first.
First of all, I'd like to welcome you coaches. You're in a great place. You're in a historical place. We've did some great history movements this past year, the 50th anniversary of the 7th Montgomery March, the 60th anniversary of the bus boycott. And what I've been telling people when I've been able to greet them in the audience that I've been speaking to all last week is that in 1955 in the bus boycott, that was their Montgomery. 2015, this is our Montgomery. So I want you to always remember, this is our Montgomery. Montgomery is totally different. We know how to sponsor things, work together as a partner, as a family. We're all of those things in one. And we're going to make sure that you enjoy your stay. Like Johnny said, the tickets are selling. I mean, I heard today it was probably less than 2,500. So that means we're going to, you can print more. We'll get some more stands too, right? We'll get some more stands. But the county commission, when Johnny and them talked about putting this bowl game on, and I'm a football fan anyway, I just say let's go with it because I too remember the blue and gray game on Christmas Day. But this is bigger and better, and it can get better. I always tell people, Johnny, that Montgomery, the seeds have been planted, but it's not been harvested yet. So we are ready to make sure that we harvest everything now, and with your help, being the second two teams to play in this this bowl, make sure that you know that we are here for you. Anything you and your team need, let Johnny know, and we can make sure that we get it for you. Thank you.
As I look over the crowd, most of you know the story, but this is for the coaches and those that are from the schools to share with you the vision. And there are some people in this room that have been part and parcel of the vision. As a matter of fact, they actually painted it for me. Ken Blankenship, a well-known sports figure in his own right, was identified as the person that could lead our first ever Central Alabama Sports Commission. And he got on board. Jack Hawkins is the vice chairman of that. Carl Seagal is the chairman. And it was that group, along with other elected officials from the River region and some of our corporate partners that are involved here, really formulated the concept of let's don't bring back the blue-gray. Let's do it better. Let's do something different. But we couldn't do it with the venue that we had. And so the first thing that the Sports Commission did was gave us the political cover to do a bond issue to support this. But I had to get a city council to go along with that. And Charles Jenright has been my friend for so long, and he's the president of the city council. He stood up for this, just like he stood up for Riverwalk Stadium when we brought AA baseball here. Charlie doesn't get the credit that he needs to receive for that. So you're getting the picture of it takes a village for us to do this. And we did, in fact, spend the money for Crampton Bowl. And then Ken and others came and said, we need to add this, what we were going to call Sportsplex. But now, thank God we didn't. We call it Multiplex because we have dances here and we have bazaars here and we have a sports event. You see it set up now for, I guess this is high school basketball for this weekend. We'll have championships here. But it takes not only that group, but it takes people like Raycom. It takes people like Max and Blue Cross Blue Shield and Porch Creeks and all the rest of those that have bought in on the vision for us to do this. And I am so pleased to be able to stand here and to say to these two coaches and others that are here from the athletic department, you have set historical records for all-time ticket sales in the second year. We are indebted to ESPN and to Raycom for allowing us the opportunity to showcase Montgomery. Elton's already told you about our 50th anniversary, that we had thousands and thousands and thousands of people here, and we showcased it. Last week, we had thousands of people here where we showcased the 60th, and now we'll have multiple thousands of people here to showcase the Camellia Bowl. And the fact that we now have tickets flying off of the computer, it means that the locals are participating. Last year, Carl Stegall and everybody with the sports commission kept beating on Johnny. Johnny, we got to get the place full. We got to get the place full. We got to have 25,000. Well, we haven't had that conversation in the last 2 months, because I think we will, in fact, do that. So, Paul, thank you for the work that you've done. Raycom has been a great sponsor. I'm delighted that you guys made that corporate decision a number of years ago, because he allowed us to have that first All-Star game. We went head-to-head with the Senior Bowl, and we did quite well there. Each and every one of you here, because you have a role to play. We appreciate you playing that role. We will play it well, and we will have an opportunity come about 8 o'clock on Saturday night to be very proud of what's going to be happening that day. And we're delighted to have these two teams. I've gotten to know their schools and their records through the internet, but I tell you what Johnny said that resonated the biggest of all. He talked about the great team, talked about the coaches, first bowl for App State. And then he told me about Ohio, 39,000 students, and he likened their band unto Troy's band. And so when he told me that, that was music to my ears, because on Friday night, we got a huge press rally, pep rally, I get it right. I've had press conferences all day today. Pep rally and a great parade, and we'll look forward to having you guys as being part of that and having the bands to do that. Johnny, we couldn't do it without you, and we're indebted to you, and we thank you so very, very much. And congratulations.
Just a little bit about our participating teams. Appalachian State was 10-2 this year and 7-1 in the Sun Belt Conference. They finished second in the league behind champion Arkansas State. They're bowl eligible for the first time in their first year of bowl eligibility, which is quite an accomplishment for their program. They're one of 20 FBS teams to win 10 games this season, but one of only 6 non-Power 5 conference teams to have 10 or more wins. Their only losses came to Clemson and to their league champion Arkansas State. They're coached by Scott Satterfield. He's 21-15 in his 3 years at Appalachian State, and he spent most of his life there. He was a player, an assistant coach, and he's, with the exception of a year at Toledo and 2 years at Florida International, he has been an Appalachian State man his entire life. Ohio University is 8-4, 5-3 in the Mid-America Conference. They finished in a second-place tie with Akron in the MAC Eastern Division. They're one of 7 MAC teams with a winning record this year, and they're one of 6 teams from the great state of OHIO to be playing in a bowl more than any other state in the Union. Coach Frank Solich is 72-54 in his career at Ohio. He's 138-79 in stints at Nebraska and Ohio. He was the first student athlete recruited by the legendary Bob Devaney at Nebraska, and he was a part of 24 of Nebraska's NCAA record 35 consecutive bowl appearances from 1969 to 2003, and this will be Coach's 35th bowl game as a player, assistant coach, and a head coach. If we could get Coach Solich and Coach Satterfield to come up, we're going to do some photo ops. And then Coach Solich, if you'll take the microphone first, and then we'll follow with Coach Satterfield. Thank y'all.